Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Mojave, and today we're going to be talking about my first impressions review of Sinslayers. Sinslayer is going to be released on September 5th for PC Steam. It is a turn-based strategy roguelike. I have covered this game in the past for Mabimpressions, but now I'm sitting down here and actually doing a little bit of a real review for it. So as always, if you like what I do and want to see more, please help out the channel by leaving a like, commenting on the game, and subscribing. I do upload a lot of daily videos. Also, make sure to stay till the end of the video. I'll be showing you some gameplay highlights of Sinslayers, most likely a boss fight or two which we had during our gameplay session. So, let's talk about Sinslayers. I'll be talking about the price, the release date, the story, the graphics, the audio, the gameplay, and some noteworthy things I think need to be mentioned. First of all, the price. As the game is not out yet as I'm recording this, there is no price to pre-order or anything like that. But I can at least give you my opinion of what I think the game is kind of worth, and then you can see what it actually is. So, like I said, no price, but at the moment, very early access, right? It's available to play soon, as I'm, September 5th, right? That's what I said, September 5th. I'm torn because I don't know, man. It's a good idea of a game, but it's not all there yet. So I would say $20 right now. But once it's fleshed out, 25 to 30, most definitely would be worth it. Let's talk about the story. It's a pretty awesome intro. It has like a comic book panel-ish things, but it's like very medieval-ish. You are a warrior who has lost his way from his kingdom and stuff. You stumble upon a knight, a warrior knight, and a priest. You help them out with the battle. In the context of the story, you don't actually battle right there. You run to a church, you meet up with an archer, and an old blind man. And he tells you, you cannot leave. I will give you safe haven here, but you have to help me defeat 7 sin lords, and that's why the game's called Sinslayers. You have to defeat the sins who have been taken over the world and whatever. And as you can guess, they are the 7 sins, greed, gluttony, lust, and so on. So that's pretty much the story, and you slowly go from there, like learning more about all the other characters and stuff. So the graphics of this game, it's you can tell it's pretty indie. It has like a hand-drawn sort of style. It's not too bad. What I really like is they are kind of large sprites, and that's always a good thing. I'm not really, if you're gonna do some sprite stuff, make them large, more detailed. Makes it stand out a little bit more. So the audio, however, was pretty basic. I didn't really get too much out of it. It wasn't memorable for me, unfortunately. Sorry, audio. But here it is, the meat and potatoes of the thing, the gameplay. There's a lot to talk about here. First of all, it's a roguelike. You end up, so the game starts. Well, this is what you're going to be doing the whole time. You have a base, which is your church, and you have all your characters there that you have pretty much unlocked. You're going to be choosing a party of 3 and choosing a formation. 1 person in the front, 2 people in the back. The person in the front, I think they get targeted more often. It doesn't seem like it, but they end up getting a little bit more armor, while the people in the back get a little bit more evasion. So you start with the warrior, an archer, and a priest. They all have their own levels, abilities, and equips. So you pick a team, you pick your loadout, which you can change pretty much almost at any time. You have 5 items that are usable. You can switch them out during the dungeons. You also have equips. Depending on your character, you get a weapon and a helmet or a chest plate or something like that, which you get throughout the game by random drops, or you can craft them at a blacksmith. So you're going to be picking, and you're going to be going to each areas of the world. There is a starting one called a forest, and I thought you would be going in and fighting a sin boss right away at the end of the dungeon. Pretty much there are different sections. It starts you off to fight a mini boss before the sin one, so it throws you in, and tutorial lets you know, hey, this is the game. This is how it's going to work. In each area you start off, it's tile-based exploration. So it throws you in, and it's all like dark around you. You click a tile, it unlocks that tile. A lot of the times it has nothing. Sometimes it is a wild random event or a structure. For example, The events might be an enemy battle. Now you go into, I'll talk about enemy battles later, but let's keep going about the events. Sometimes there is traps, which you can disarm using an item if you have it. If not, you're going to be losing like a couple percent of your health. Maybe like 10 damage static, I think it was, perhaps. There are random quests, like a goblin who wants to be cured of his stank, so you have to go find him an antidote. Sometimes there's teleports, will take you to a random part of the map. And the map, depending on where you are, you know, it's going to be different biomes, like a forest biome, a church biome, and stuff like that. And, you know, the variety of sizes depends on the difficulty as well. So we'll be doing that. And there's a lot of other stuff like, oh, there's lots of random bodies on the ground. Do you search them for money or do you leave them alone? So those are a lot of the different kinds of events that you can have. So during a lot of the sections that you're seeing here is my very first mini boss run, and like I said, you have to defeat the mini boss and then it opens up a path to the boss. So you pick a class, you equip items. Speaking of items that you equip, they give you lots of various stats: armors, power, abilities, crit chance, etc. And also you level up just by doing quests and killing enemies. Random dungeon with tiles, events, etc. The enemies are pretty cool. They are very, like, you know, boorish and enemy-like. I mean, like, some are generic, like, oh wow, you know, a bandit or a giant bee. This particular one though has enemies that kind of fit with the boss. The first boss is gluttony, so you get like giant ass pigs, you know. So the pigs eat a lot. Gluttony, lol. So as you run around the map, you have options to increase your sin level or decrease it. Now, this game has a mechanic where the more you explore a dungeon, you either, like I said, gain or lose sin, depending on actions. If you find a coffin and you want to open it up, you're going to gain some sin, a randomized portion between 5 or 7, or whatever it chooses to be, right? And then there are different sin levels, so the more you accumulate sin, the harder the map gets, but the more rewards you get. Think of it like Darkest Dungeon. If you guys played it, it has a torch function in Darkest Dungeon. If you leave the torch going out, it gets darker and darker, more disadvantages for you, but more treasure. It's kind of like this. And the only way to increase your sin is to do bad things, and for fixing your sin is to pray on all that stuff. So I do like that thing. Sometimes enemies get stronger levels, you get more gold, etc. It's pretty cool that way. I do like that. One awesome other thing is overworld abilities, depending on your character. If you play as the warrior, well, if you get 3 characters and you can use them all at once. So you get the warrior, and he has an ability called Sense. He sees enemies. So you go to a random part of the map, you click his ability, and it shows you question marks where enemies are on the map, so you can prepare in advance. If you play as the archer and you accidentally get to an enemy fight, you can jump out of that and retreat. The priest is probably one of the best ones. She auto heals the party for a specific amount. Now, you can use the overworld abilities as much as you like, as long as the cooldown is not there. So let's say you heal everyone. You cannot use it again for maybe 30 rounds. Now, what's a round? On the overworld map, you have to unlock new little bits. So if it's an unexplored bit and you step on it, it goes down from 30 to 29 and so on. You can't just go back and forth. So that's pretty much it. Let's talk about the combat, the big part of the game. So it's turn-based, 3 characters. Depending on your speed stat, you go first, etc. Now, like Darkest Dungeon, you get to choose their skills. And how it works is everyone starts off with 1 of 2 skills. I'll be giving you an example of the archer. So everyone has a basic attack pretty much. So you know, it's tied to your QWERT skills. And pretty much you can attack an enemy, or you can use one of the other 2 skills that you choose. There's pretty much different tiers. There's tier 1, 2, 3, and 4 depending on your level, and you have them unlocked. The first tier after attack for the archer is a single attack, which does it's a single attack which does 100% of your power. Your regular attack does about 70%. This 100% attack takes away 1 rage gauge bar, or it's a corruption, I forgot what it's called, but it's pretty much your mana. Every turn I think everyone collects 1 mana, and it can be influenced with other skills, and you use those to activate skills. So there's an AoE like attack, which does way less damage, but it puts a debuff on the enemies called the Hunter's Mark, which gives you crit chance every time you hit them, and so on. Every character has their own skill tree, which you choose to go in. So there is a lot of strategy in this game. I could definitely see it. You can easily switch out, you know, if you unlock tier 2 of skills, you can choose your skills at will. A lot of them are also passives, which is really nice. So you fight enemies, and once you kill them, you get experience depending on, you know, the levels of the enemies and how many there are. And you also get different items. Sometimes it's consumables, which you can use whenever you want. A lot of them is going to be materials, which you can use later. And I might as well talk about where you use them at now. You know, very early on in the game, you get a quest to unlock a blacksmith. This blacksmith shows up on the map randomly in the first dungeon. You grab him, you save him, and you go into town, and you can now upgrade your stuff. So you do that, and you can pretty much make new items. There's rings, torches, consumables, and stuff like that. You can also turn your money into like 100 coins and knowledge gems, which you can use to give more experience to your character, or it's really important to be used to upgrade their first level of skills, etc. So pretty much rinse and repeat. Choose a character, party, equip them out, go to a dungeon, survive or die, grab all your items, come back to the base, upgrade some more, and etc. It's going to be pretty much like that. So progression in roguelikes is pretty good. This one has level progression, character ability progression, armor, equipments, and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's very addicting, these type of games. And as long as you spend time regrinding stages, I regrinded the first stage a couple times before moving on. You get lots of new, like one new equip changes the whole thing, you know, etc. The game doesn't seem too bad, and if the combat is kind of slow for you, you can change it in the options. They have 1.5 times and 2 times speed. 1.5 is good for me. So definitely, guys, Sinslayer is a great game. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like. It helps a lot. If you haven't already, subscribe for daily videos. If you want to watch all of the uncut footage we recorded of Sinslayers, check out my secondary YouTube channel, Mabimpressions VOD. It's where I upload all of the Twitch VODs in easy, digestible chunks if I end up streaming them. This one in particular, I did not stream it, but go check out the channel anyway over there, because I do a lot of that. I'll be ending today's video with a highlight of Sinslayers. We'll be showing you a boss battle of the mini boss. That's to not spoil the big boss. So thanks for being, thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of the video.